Been doing some more cleanup from the old shop. This has been a long process, and I've showed you some clips of it before in the past of going down to the old shop. I'm just finally, I'm getting through it and just trying to get the last few things that I know I want to keep. And there's even more, there's still more stuff down there. It's just, I'm out of room. I don't have a place to keep storing things, so I'm just trying to get things that I know that I can put away. So anyway, I thought I would show you a couple of the things that I pulled out of the shop today. Nice array of different things. Look at here, lead knockers, lead. These were some weights that Granddad had made for something, and tools, all kind of just mix and match. That was one of our tool boxes, just got a bunch of different mix and match stuff in there. Look at there, box full of metallizing powders. And some of these are busted. That one's busted there. These are Utiloy. All the little small bottles are Utiloy. Something that I haven't shown you guys yet, but I've got a Utiloy torch. It's kind of like brazing. So that was down there hidden in the tool crib. There's something I thought old Don Koskett might get a kick out of. It's a little 3.2 ounce 2-cycle engine oil from Steel. It's never been opened. It's still got the aluminum foil on it. I've held on to it for all these years. This is something that Dad had bought back in the 80s, and for some reason this one never got used. That's pretty neat. Some more tools, impacts. Anybody need some plastic? Lots of UHMW, nylon. I forget what this black stuff is. It's got a very soft durometer to it. Lots of phenolic. That's a big chunk of phenolic. There's actually a bunch of phenolic down in here. Smaller pieces of phenolic. Sheets of phenolic. I've got more, UHMW. Got a ton of that stuff. That was an old fan that Granddad used to use on the patio, and I'm thinking about maybe bolting it to one of my windows to use as a ventilation fan. So yeah, that's about it. So as I said, it's an ongoing thing, and it's not fun, but I got light at the end of the tunnel now. It's getting close to being done, and just trying to grab things that I know is useful that you don't want to just toss away. So anyway, thought I'd share that with you guys. It's Saturday, and that's what I did this morning. Now I've got to unload it all again and find a place to put it. Alright, so what I'm doing here, this is my mag grill, and what I'm doing, I'm going to mount this marble shear over here next to my arbor press. This is a neat old tool that's always been in our shop, and I use it every now and then to cut shim stock or something like that, some thin gauge steel. And I've had it sitting here next to the arbor press for a long time, but usually when I need it, I'll put a couple C-clamps on it and just kind of hold it to the table. But I've been doing some organizing and cleaning up, and I want to go ahead and bolt it to the table. So I've already transfer punched the 4 marks that I need. I'm just going to drill a hole, and I'm just going to bolt it to the table. And I've been going through, these are all toolboxes from my old shop. I've been going through and getting them reorganized again and cleaned up, and they're going to sit right here. So I'll show you that whenever I get done with it. So I haven't showed the mag drill, so let's put it to some use, and I'll show you how it works. All right, I'm going to use my center point to find the punch marks. These back two here is going to be a little close, but I should be able to manage getting it done. Using that point to kind of center it up, and then here's the switch. The light indicates that the mag's on. you ain't gonna move it. I'm going to drill it for 3/8 bolts and just bolt it down. That thing makes drilling plates so much easier. Alright, you ready to move it? Turn the switch off. Let's come back here to this one. Okay. Whoop. Put it back on. Right, 2 more to do. Let's see. Alright, I got her bolted down there. Now I got to worry about clamping anymore. So you see what I'm doing with my toolboxes. I'm just kind of sitting there. Now what I had to do is to enable to use this, I got to slide this box over a little bit so the handles are back far enough. That ain't no problem because it's kind of rare that I do use this. But got a piece of 1/8 thick aluminum right here, and we'll make a little cut on it just to demonstrate how it works. It's a nice little tool. It's very handy to have around here. This does that aluminum good. Let me find a piece of sheet metal. Like this is some brass shim stock. You know, you got to cut some pieces. You can come over here just real quickly. Snap a piece off of it. So, thing's finally bolted down. I'm happy about that. Put the toolbox over like I had it. So, I've been waiting to bring all this stuff down here just because I'm out of room in my shop. I'm constantly reorganizing and moving stuff to try to get things in a better position and fit more stuff in here. But these tools here were my dad's. He had bought these probably right after I started working for him back in the late 90s. And it's just a Craftsman socket set with wrenches. And then this red box here was just, I had actually bought this from somebody that came up and was looking for a little bit of money. And it was full of tools, so I bought it from him. I think I gave him like $50 for it or something. And it's just a cheap toolbox. The bottom drawer, it's all messed up, but there's plenty of good usable tools in here that you don't want to throw away or discard. So I went through all this and got all the junk out of it, and now it's just got tools in there. That drawer is full of all kind of old wrenches. There's a lot of old wrenches right here. But old screwdrivers, and then I've got plenty of junk drawers that I kind of still need to go through, but you know, so this will work for me right here. And it's another spot on the table where I can quickly come and grab a socket or a wrench or something like that when I'm working over here. So that's about it. There's some of my air grinders, and I've also got another little arbor press right here. And I don't think I'm going to mount it, but it's a little #1 Famco, and this was also my dad's. I want to mount it on the bench, but I really don't have another spot for it. You know, unless I have it over here in the way on the side of the table. So I don't know. Just for now, that's gonna sit right there. And but anyway, I'm just sharing what I'm doing today. Just trying to get some more stuff done. So time to find some more stuff to get into. Alright, finally got that chip pan cleaned out. I got to do some sweeping now. Get all these chips up out of the floor. And I'll check out the sump. Alright guys, back underneath the Monarch, and I'm going to get this ready for the pump to reinstall the pump back on the machine here. And I know a lot of guys recommended that I get underneath here and clean this and paint it and everything, but I'm just not going to right now. I really don't have the time. I'm just gonna clean this platform here that the pump goes on, you know, and get this old hose off and get this out of here. But that's all I'm gonna do. I just don't have enough time. I just got too many other things to worry about right now than getting all this cleaned up and everything. This is some of my fast evaporating solvent degreaser that I use. Yeah, a lot of muck right there. This is a nicely casted tray that Monarch did. You've got a raised boss here that the pump sits on, and then like a catch tray around it to catch any leaking. That's the gist of what I'm doing here right now. So about got it cleaned off, and I got to try to get this stupid hose off here. And I don't see a clamp on it. Alright. Looks like it must thread on. This might be some kind of piece that was crimped onto the hose and then threaded on there. So that's the only thing I can think. Come on, you bastard. Get your ass off there. There it is. That's why I couldn't feel a bolt head on there. I don't think I've ever seen a hose clamp like that. There it is. It was clamped on there though. Anyway, alright. Now I need to clean that a little bit. Alright, here's the hose that goes from the discharge side. This is where it hooks into the back of the pump, and it just goes underneath the lathe, and it hooks in here, and this hose is what comes around to the coolant spout on the back of the carriage here. And I neglected to, get to this point yet and see what size this hose is, but I don't have any hose this size. I've got to get some. So what I want to do is try to disconnect it from this, and this will be the replacement piece that we need. That the 1-inch hose, I believe. So that looks like a different size. Look at that hose that they used, man. Still coolant in it. I don't know what the deal is. That's 1 inch on that end. That looks like maybe 3/4. I might be having to make an adapter. Dang it. I may not be getting this far tonight. Might have to wait and find something else. So basically I need to adapt it what looks like 1/2 inch to 3/4. Alright, I went ahead and just cut that end off this hose right here. This hose isn't in bad shape. I mean, it's still usable, but I'm going to go ahead and replace it anyway. So what I'm going to be having to do is adapt it from 1/2 inch to my 1-inch hose, which is this one here, the new one. So I'm gonna have to do a little research and see if I can buy me an adapter, and if I can't find what I need, then I'll just have to make something. We can take a piece of stock and machine an adapter. It doesn't have to have the barbs on it, but you can machine that in there. But either way, I can make something, but I'm gonna see if something's commercially available. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this pump mounted up here. I went ahead and cut me a short piece for here, and I went ahead and attached the discharge hose because it was going to be behind the pump. It would be very hard to get to. So, and I've already got it wired up too. I just finished wiring it up, and I actually turned the power on and bumped it, and you can barely hear this thing running. It's so quiet. So it's hooked up. So let's see if I can get it in place. This thing is pretty sporty. Get that one back there. Alright, those are tight. Okay, let's see if I can get this suction hose on now. Now, I thought I had a bunch of hose clamps. I got a drawer with a bunch of hose clamps, but couldn't find hardly any of the size that I need. So I've got this one this type of clamp here that I'm hoping that I can reach in there and hook onto there. Like that. Okay, I think that's good. Trying to flatten it out a little bit there, but we'll see if it works. All right, I think that's good. All right, well, discharge hose goes back there, and then the half-inch line hooks into the end of it and runs up, comes up to the carriage. So there we go. Now, like I said, it does run because I bumped it just to see. So the test will be if it pumps and it doesn't drip. All right, so take a good look. This is probably this may be the last time you look underneath this lathe here, unless I got to pull this pump back out again, which I hope I don't. All right, so I want to try to get this thing together tonight. So what I decided to do, that's that brass adapter that was connecting the two hoses. I'm going to go ahead and make one of these. I found a piece of 1¼ inch hex stock under my bench. So this will clean up to make a 1-inch barb like I need for one side. So I'm going to cut a piece of this off, and I'll turn one end to like that, and then turn the other end for a 1-inch barb. And that should work and get me back going again. So let's make up an adapter real quick. Guys, there's the adapter that I made. Hope you enjoyed seeing that. I just banged this part out, tried to bust through it really quick. I added a little bit extra length there just to kind of give me something extra to hold on to, okay? All we need is just a connection to adapt the two hoses, that's it. So, I think I made that tight enough. Okay. I just copied close to the diameter that was on the barbs on the pump itself. And then the same thing on this end, I just kind of copied the one that I had taken off there. Alright, we got it. Okay, I think we got an adapter. All right, guys. All right, the hose is hooked up, so I need to mix up another 5-gallon bucket of coolant and dump it in here, and then we'll give it a test and see if it works. And check it for leaks. Alright, I got a fresh bucket of coolant there. By the way, I know it's been a long time since I mentioned it. What I use is called Mobile Cut 102. I've had it since I was working in my old shop, so I'm just going to use it up. You know, maybe find something different after it's gone. Okay, I think that's going to be real close to being full. I know it should be plenty. I might add a little bit more later. Now, I still want to redo this here. Basically, just get a new valve. I need to get another valve, but I think I had another leak. I can't remember now. But this flexible nozzle here is actually all brass, and I didn't even realize that until Gil had pointed that out. So I might just keep this part right here because it still works good. So let's give it a shot and see if we get any coolant. Alright, I hear the motor running. It might have to prime also. I dealt with this last time, getting the air out of it. There it is. Alright, so here's one of our leaks right here. It's actually on this. The flexible hose there is where it's leaking, so I may end up having to change that. Alright guys, we got it running. I had to get it to prime and get the air out of the system. Air kept trying to trap down in it. But I finally got it going. And now you can see I've got another pretty good significant leak right here, and that's on this spout. I think all I gotta have to do with that, clean it real good, and I should be able to silver solder this joint right here. and seal that up. I think that's all that's wrong. It just needs a little solder done to it. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and buy a new valve first, and then whenever I get a new valve, then I'll get that soldered up and we'll get all that fixed at one time. So we got a pretty good flow, and I've been looking. I don't have any leaks. The hose on the back side, the one on the bottom that I connected together, it's not leaking. So we got a good coolant system again on the Monarch. I'm just happy to get this done. It's another project I've been wanting to get done and get finished so I can move on to something else. So, all right guys, that's about it. See you later.